quarterback and his NFL future. Tua Tagovailoa has declared for the NFL draft. The Alabama quarterback recovering from a major hip injury. He will skip his senior season and turn pro. He announced that choice earlier today and did say it was a hard decision all the way around. Laura Rutledge is in Tuscaloosa. And Laura, what has today been like for Tua Tagovailoa?
Yeah, I think you just said it, Wendy, and it said so well, just that it's been a difficult process for Tua to come to this decision because he loves Alabama so much, and he said that today. He's going to miss being with his teammates. He's going to miss interacting with Coach Saban, who called Tua like a son to him. They're so close, and there's been so much of this relationship that I think probably we don't even see from the outside world. Tua said that his time here was like a roller coaster, obviously some very high highs when he won national championships, and then some lows when he's dealt with some injuries that are a big part of his story, at least from his college career. But he did feel content with his decision, although you could see that there were still some emotions involved in all of this. As I mentioned, though, that relationship with Coach Saban is something that Tua will carry with him everywhere.
To me, he's been a little bit like a son. I mean, I just love the guy. I love his spirit. I love how he affects everybody around him. And he's done everything to represent this program in a first-class way. And as an ambassador to a university, as an ambassador to a program, you can never ask for more.
Who would you model your NFL game after? Who's an inspiration for you at the NFL level?
There's a good amount of guys. You know, I got to talk to Russell Wilson, you know, Marcus, you know, and Drew Brees. You know, kind of getting their insight on things, you know. I ask questions. I mean, they're more than happy to answer them. I think what's so intriguing about those three guys is what's, you know, off the field with them. You know, they don't really care about what goes on the field with how I play and whatnot. You know, they want me to be successful in how I play, don't get me wrong. But, you know, it's just how I conduct myself, you know, with the media or after the game, you know, after a big win, after a big loss. So, you know, I learn a lot of things from guys like that.
So obviously 3 great quarterbacks to get advice from for Tua. But the other thing that I came away from today with, Wendy, is the fact that he's moving around really well. A lot of people wondering about that hip. They did bring in, Alabama did, some NFL hip specialists, some doctors to look at the hip, and a regularly scheduled post-op appointment that happened over the weekend. And the signs are all good. They're positive. It's just very early to know exactly what that recovery is going to look like. But either way, Tua moving around without a crutch today, very limited limp. I mean, you could barely even tell that there was a limp. So he said he's feeling good. He said he's actually been throwing the football a lot, sometimes from a seated position, but is on track to really start to do more athletic activity around that 3-month mark post-surgery, which would be around February.
Laura, thank you. And who else but Mel Kiper Jr. to talk about Tua's decision. And Mel, were you at all surprised by the choice to move on to the NFL?
Wendy, I don't go in trying to predict or be surprised by either decision because I could see reasons for both. Remember, Keyshawn Johnson went back because he wanted to go higher than he would have gone coming out as a junior. Peyton Manning went back when he would have been the number 1 pick, and Matt Leinart. But in this case, the unique part was the injury factor. They weren't bothered by injury. Durability wasn't a concern. It is with Tua. And I think here from a business standpoint, purely, if you get hurt, it's with an NFL paycheck, with an NFL contract, and some my financial security when your next injury occurs. Hopefully for Tua, it never occurs. But had it occurred at Alabama, then obviously there was going to be major questions, and his draft position next year would have been affected maybe dramatically. Wendy, and in this case, I still think 5 Miami, 6 the LA Chargers sets up perfectly there. Miami picks again at 18 and then the 20. So you got some security there. But I think he goes early first round. Morton Adam will be all over this. But the Chargers are at 6 and they need a quarterback. And Justin Herbert Oregon's there. So is there any jockeying for position with Tua and Herbert and how teams view them based on the draft process and the medical coming back on Tua? It's going to be fun to see how this all plays out.
Mel, medicals aside, what would be your biggest concern regarding Tua?
Well, he actually got advice from Drew Brees. I've said he's a left-handed version of Drew Brees. Mentally, knowing the game, great leadership, intangibles off the charts, incredibly precise. Forget accurate. He is precise. He completes 70% of his passes, 87 touchdowns, 11 picks. Remarkable passer, pure passer. 6 feet, 6'1.5", 6'1", doesn't matter. Doesn't have a howitzer for an arm, but it's more than good enough. This is a kid you want on your team, and you just hope and pray that the injuries are finished and done, a part of the past, and moving forward. If he's a Dolphin, a Charger, whoever he ends up with, a healthy Tua is out there each and every week.
We're so glad you're watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, make sure you subscribe to ESPN Plus. We'll see you there.